Like to welcome everybody. Let's talk racing. Hey, check this out. We still got a little more lighting to turn on. Cool beans. We got Matt and Steve rocking and rolling tonight with us. Bless you. Bam. You feel better now?
A little bit.
Okay.
It's actually pretty good.
Certainly.
Where do we start? Where do we begin?
All right. Well,
we got trucks at Kentucky.
Yes. Well, do you want to tell them who's going to be on the show tonight?
No, let's leave it as a surprise.
Oh, God. Here we go again. We're going to have a sunglass sponsor on the show tonight.
Oh, who?
Oh, now he wants to know.
Well, you didn't tell me that earlier. You told me Brehm Morehouse was calling in. We got Robbie Parker. We're going to call Robbie up.
And we got Alan Meudt from Wiley X.
Okay. Alan who?
M-E-U-D-T.
M-E-U-D-T.
Just say hi.
Ryan?
Alan.
Alan.
A-L-A-N.
From Wiley X.
Yep.
Is he going to be at Richmond?
Yes. He was. Well, you and I talked to him at Southside, remember?
I'm going to go see him.
You going to get a pair of glasses like mine?
I'm going to get a pair of glasses. I'm about due.
I just got a pair of glasses. I just got a pair from military, actually.
Yeah. Cheater.
They're nice though.
So we're starting on the USA scene, or we're going to start local?
I don't care. Flip a coin. You want to start it? Go ahead. Go ahead.
We'll start with the trucks. Why not?
Start with the trucks.
All right.
Yeah, you got it. Go for it. Rock and roll.
Trucks are at Kentucky. They had a gas mileage race. It turned out to be one of those finishes you never knew who was going to win until the end of it. And Todd Bodine pretty much dominated the whole race, though, either way. But he had plenty of competition, but they couldn't make it, and he was the only one that did make it. So Todd Bodine ended up winning it, and Johnny Sauter got second, Eric Almirola, Jason White, Ricky Carmichael, good to see him up there. Timothy Peters, Kyle Busch, Ryan Sieg got a good finish because of the fuel mileage stuff, along with Austin Dillon and Matt Crafton. That was the top 10. It was actually a very competitive race the whole time. Other than that,
they seemed to be kind of they were fast.
Oh yeah.
They were. I think they were a whole lot faster than what they thought they were going to be.
Yes. I've always liked that track though. Anyone that runs there, it's always a good race. It's plenty fast and plenty wide enough. You can go. They had 4 wide a few times in the turns.
It's a little bit of a cookie cutter track.
A little bit.
Little bit. Doc, I got a number here for you. Yeah.
So I think it's the straightaways in terms are a little more wider than a lot of the other tracks they run on, which kind of mixes things up.
Yeah, it was a good show. I caught it very late Saturday night, I believe I caught it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a good race. It really was a really good race. It looked like it was a lot of excitement. Todd Bodine called out. The Onion called out Rowdy Busch, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Somebody's got to.
There was a little bit of a retraction on it afterwards, but
it had to come out eventually.
It had to come out eventually, and I don't think he's the only driver that feels that way. So, go ahead. What else we got? We had Nationwide and Cup at Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I had not seen any of them. I know Tony Stewart won the Cup race.
And Jamie McMurray ended up winning the Nationwide race. And I won't say he was a sleeper, but he wasn't up front the entire race. He was kind of hanging around 10th almost the whole race. And then, as he usually does, at least in Nationwide, he always appears at the end of it. And nobody else could catch him, pretty much. That's what it came out to. Jamie Mack took it. Kyle Busch, again, got second. Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, Jason Leffler didn't do too bad. Ryan Newman, Paul Menard, and Ricky Stenhouse. Good to see him get a top 10. And
Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Yes, excuse me.
There is a senior.
It was how do I say it? They had quite a few incidents in it, but it wasn't like a full-out like wreck fest or anything. It was spaced out.
It wasn't a fight and a race came out and the race broke out?
Yeah, it wasn't one of those. All in all, I love watching Atlanta every time they run there, just because it's one of those, just like Michigan and all the other, they scatter when they hit the turns and they come together on the straightaways, but it's just so fast that it makes it a little more exciting. Murray's been on fire this year, though. No matter what series he's in.
What the hell was I going to say?
I don't know.
Cup. Give the Cup results. Give us the top 10. Give us a breakdown.
I will add that if Kyle Busch wins one more race, he will reset the record for single or most wins in a single season. He already owns it, I believe, at 10, and he just tied it at Bristol. And if he wins another one, he will break it. He just missed it over the weekend, but it happens. I'm getting there.
Now there's another thing we got to read too. We got to do the points countdown.
Yes.
Richmond's going to be the last race for the chase.
Can't wait. Always. All right. Why did it not show me? There we go. That's the wrong one. That's why.
Go ahead. Come on.
As you said, Tony Stewart ended up taking it. He was up front the whole race, but he didn't lead it. I wasn't sure who was going to get it because it kept switching between Edwards and Jimmy Johnson, the typical guys that are usually up there, but there was never one person that stood out the whole time. Thank you.
Okay, Steve, we're going to give you a little lesson here. See them lines on the other side?
I do.
Okay. You see where that business card is sticking in the edge of the screen?
Yep.
You got to hit that green. It's got to hit that business card. But if you speak out and enunciate a little bit and get that sound up there, they can hear you a lot better.
You treat the camera like your girlfriend, not the microphone.
Oh!
Okay.
I ain't even gonna touch that one.
Soft and sweet on the mic, on the camera, but get loud on the mic.
Get loud on the mic. What are you doing?
That's right.
Stewart in.
I'm bad. Yeah, I'm bad.
Lord. Top 10 points. Let's talk about that.
Tony Stewart, okay?
Well, I got the finishing order at least now.
You got the finishing order?
Yes.
Okay, you're just figuring out the computer, in other words.
Pretty much.
Come on, we're good.
Right. Tony
then
Stewart,
we'll go to do local stuff.
Yeah, Tony Stewart took the win. Carl Edwards second. Jimmy Johnson third. Jeff Burton, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Clinton Boyer, Ryan Newman, Juan Montoya, and Marcus Ambrose were the top 10.
Marcus is going to RPM.
Yes.
And who else is staying? Isn't it Almadigger?
Yeah.
AJ staying?
AJ staying.
No word on Elliott Sadler yet.
Not yet.
So far, I don't think Elliott's gotten renewed.
He is looking at different possibilities, though, I heard.
Yeah, you got it.
Right. Possible full-time truck ride with Kevin Harvick. Correct?
Yeah, he's been kicking a little bunch of ass.
Kicking that around a little bit.
Every race
He's
he
damn good
does.
in them trucks.
Yeah.
He's really good in them trucks.
Now we've got the points pulled up. Harvick's still the leader. Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, Tony Stewart, Carl Edwards, who I know locked himself into the chase. I'm not sure about anyone after that or how far down it went. It doesn't really say. But Jeff Burton got sixth, or is sixth. Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, and Greg Biffle and Clinton Boyer are the ones who kind of have to worry this weekend.
Where are they at? Let's see where they're
11th
at.
and 12th.
Well, you got Newman sitting there in 13th.
Yep.
He's not too far behind. He could jump in. McMurray, it's a good possibility.
Martin.
Martin is a little. He's well over 100 points.
175 points for the winner of the race.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's Newman's got a chance. McMurray is slim. Boyer could drop out, and Biffle actually could drop
Who's
out.
in 12th?
Boyer.
Boyer
Boyer's
has to crash, and the other guys have got to finish the top 5.
Yep.
Get ahead of him.
Pretty much.
There's an 80-point spread. Yeah, they were talking. It was going to be kind of a boring deal because it's almost all pretty well set. But Newman's still got a chance.
Yeah. Well, of course, somebody didn't help that too much in the last race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who was he all pissed off at?
Casey. It's Kane.
I forgot.
Kane's not in it though, is he?
No.
Edwards, Burton, Johnson, Busch, Kansas has been really quiet all year long. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
But he's been consistent. He really has.
Well, the reason I was saying that, I don't know if you caught it in the race.
I did.
They showed at one point from the left-hand side view, from the inside of the track, as Casey Kane got off of it, Ryan Newman got off of it because he saw Casey slow down, and he got hit from behind and shoved him up into Casey. And Casey got into his issues at that point.
They about had a big wreck on the backstretch.
Right. So Casey was thinking
Confronted him.
Ryan was trying to do it on purpose, and that's why he got back at Ryan with the 2 laps to go when Ryan was running in fourth and wound up sliding back to 6 or 7.
I didn't see that race.
Didn't turn into a big deal, but he still
that's what
confronted
got me
him about it.
when they did all the stuff. They were covering all the extra coverage after that. They were showing front views instead of that one picture that I caught just as they did that, and they never came back to seeing it.
Well, I was watching it today. They had it replaying on speed, and I saw it as it happened live, and it about had a big wreck right there. And then they didn't really, like you said, they didn't really go back to it till the end of the race.
Did you catch the little hello to Casey Kane sticking his head through the window and everything that he gave for you?
One thing I did catch though too, and I've never seen anybody save a car like that, was Jimmy Johnson came off of 4 completely sideways with one finger sticking out of the window, and I've never seen that. Just driving relaxed.
That's what I was trying to tell him.
I know.
And I even moved the micro a little bit closer.
Doesn't happen.
You gotta
Shove it down his throat so he talks like this.
you gotta enunciate
So,
all the way to the back
How
row.
was your visit with Jimmy Spencer, by the way?
Good. It was really good. Came over with the kart club and spent some time with the pro wing drivers. Great guy. Loved to talk, and was just down home, genuine, nice guy. He really was. He was a lot different than when he was at the track. When he was telling some stories to the guys, and he met all the pro wing drivers, and was just cool. Was really cool. The guys all got a kick out of it, and like I said, nice guy. Really a nice guy. So, got to meet and spend a little time with L.W. Miller. Really a great guy. Enjoyed talking with him. And
Said the other announcer.
no, driver L.W. Miller.
Oh.
He was leading the points. He was in the 36 modified.
Oh. Okay.
So got to meet him and talk to him a little bit. Some of Frank Fleming's crew, got to meet them. They were all real nice guys. Overall, they were all it was a great group of guys. It was a great group of people.
Apparently, they thought the facilities at Langley were like top notch, and the fans were really good to them.
We had Bill and Chuck and I stood there at the end of the night as they were all leaving, and there was not one person. There was one NASCAR official, and he walked by. They all said it was great, but he walked by. He says, "This is now my favorite racetrack." He says the hospitality was bar none. The racing facility was great. The crew, everything was great. They said they did everything they could to help us out, and they definitely want to come back. So Sherry Clifton, if you're watching, thank you. She was great. We had a great time with her. Brian, it was great as always. And
We'll have Brian on here in a little bit.
yeah. So and he had a lot of fun too. I think he was very nervous about it. You could tell in the morning. But at the end of the day, he was just like, man, this is where we need to be. We need to be visiting this track.
I'm going to fuss at him later.
Why?
Before they even got started, I was trying to text him, find out where he was. Could never get a freaking answer.
He was down, and he was their lead investigator, so he was in charge of all the. As far as I know, he was in charge of all the tech and all that, and I know they had him jumping all day long. He did not stop. I talked to him maybe 3 or 4 times, and it was 2-minute spurts, and we were.
Well, I did get to talk to both of the guys we had on the show the week before.
Thomas Stinson, and we had who else? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Oh, just get out of that. We ain't even going there yet. We got 11 races yet. 11 races yet. We'll get into the silly season. I know what you were trying to look up.
Oh no, I was actually trying to make sure they're the only two that are not
Oh, the
locked in.
bones. Oh, okay. So they can still fall out.
Yeah.
Biffle and Boyer.
Biffle and Boyer, the only two that can fall out now. Everybody else is locked in.
We got Brian.
Yeah, he'll be there in a second. Keep finishing up your stuff. We'll be talking about.
Lord. He makes it hard for me. Believe me. Well, let's go through the rundown then.
Yeah.
Let's do that for Langley Speedway. The Southern Modified's great race. Did you like it?
Loved it. That's the fastest I've seen anybody run out there. They were way faster than late models. I think they were on low 15s.
Yeah, they were like
Mid or low,
mid-15s.
yeah.
They didn't qualify as fast as I thought they would, but they were really. What was it? Fastest qualifier, Savali was 91.523. That's in the 15s, mid-15s.
They're still cooking though.
And oh yeah, they were cooking. And I think if you give them a little bit more time at the track, I think they'll be a lot better. They'll get the handling and the setup, and they'll figure out the tires a little bit better.
Plus, they're used to running at a much smaller track, so they had way more room to dive around.
Well, they run Bristol, they run New Hampshire. You know,
that's right.
they do run these bigger tracks, but Langley is just its own beast.
Yeah.
You know, it's flat, it's egg-shaped,
It's fast.
and it is fast. It is a very fast, flat track. Tim Brown took home the win by saving his tires.
Mm-hmm.
He just sat back there and waited. James Savali, he led a lot of the race and just used up his tires.
Got ran down, definitely.
And yeah, got ran down. Burt Myers came home third. Zach Brewer, that's another guy I met. Zach was great. Andy Seuss, Jason Myers, Gene Pack, L.W. Miller, Frank Fleming, Chris Fleming's brother.
Yeah.
And he's won a bunch of races. Brandon Heyer, Brian Dowsett, I can't pronounce that. Daryl Krentz. How do you pronounce that, Brian?
I don't know. I just call him number 97.
Number 97. You got it.
Yeah, Krentz was the other one I talked to.
Daryl Krentz, John Smith, and Greg Butcher. Boucher, right?
I call him Butcher.
Butcher? Okay. And then Sean Beluzzo started a car for the Myers brothers.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. So we did get at least one local guy in. Thomas Stinson had a little bit of issue in tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I told you they weren't going to let him. You wouldn't believe me.
There's another story behind that, but we won't go into that.
Yep.
But anyway, Brian Morehouse on the phone here with us. Brian, hold on. I'm going to go through the other classes real quick, and then we're going to get right to you.
Alrighty, boss.
So, I know this wasn't the next race. It was actually the...
I tell you what, though, while you're looking it up, the 79 car, he used that emergency lane. Let me tell you, he got down there and got under a couple of the cars real quick, jumped to the outside.
You know what? We're gonna talk about that for a minute when we get back. Let me get this done. Because we are going to bring that up. I'm going to ask Brian a little bit about that. I won't put you on the spot, Brian.
Steve and I were in the perfect spot. It was a lot of action out there.
A few people in the grass.
I've seen some dirt flying too. But anyway, Pro Wings, the Rhonda Claiborne Realtor Pro Wings, champ carts for 20 laps. They went green to checkered. Ryan Hudgens took home the win with Jake Harberts, Casey Wyatt joining us back, Bill Daly, and Mike Dayton rounded out your top five. We ended up with 18 carts. It was a great night for them guys.
Another photo finish too.
Yeah, it turned out to be a really good race. INEX Legends, or Casey Cycle City INEX Legends. Nationals coming up. We're seeing more and more coming up to try to get a hold of this track. Yes. There's more and more people showing up every week. Cameron Patrick took home an exciting win. Jamie Price, Derek Hopkins, he's an out-of-towner that just came in. Brian May, Jake Hevelaw finished out fifth. Kyle Resco, he's come up a couple times, but he's trying to get this track figured out. Sparky West, Steve Kesey, and Joe Hendricks was your top 10. Great night of racing for them guys. A little exciting on lap one, but
and the last lap.
And the last lap, yeah, it was really good. So.
Started to have some controversy, but it ended up working out, so it didn't come up.
Well, there was still controversy because I talked to a couple of people afterwards.
Yeah. I still have That special rule is going to be kicking again.
That's what I was talking about.
Anyway,
We'll save that.
B&C Seafood Modifieds. Long night for them. They just couldn't catch a break.
No.
But Thomas Stinson took home the win over Sean Beluzzo, Kyle Wood. Cameron Patrick finished out fourth after winning the Legends race. So he was pulling double duty. Joe Scarborough, Chris Hoyleman, Matt Sly, Robbie Babb, Mike Hanberry, and Bobby Gary was your top 10. And I already went through the modifieds. You missed the modifieds, Brian.
Well, I've seen them.
Seen them. It was a good race, wasn't it?
It was a very good race. I think they put a great show on for the fans. Tell you what, it was very exciting. I think it's coming on tonight, isn't it, at 8 o'clock on Versus?
Actually, I think it's on right now, to tell you the truth, 7 o'clock.
I'm recording it, actually.
Gotcha. So, yeah, if anybody missed it, definitely catch it tonight. It was a very good race and a lot of action and a lot of lead changes.
Yeah, it wasn't a boring race. It wasn't a follow the leader. It was quite interesting, wasn't it?
It was. Those double file restarts really make it real interesting.
What you've probably been. I know you were getting ready to go do some other races, but what's the feel from the drivers and the officials and all that came up here?
Well, talking to the drivers, I mean, it is a long haul. They understand that, but after they got on the track, like I told them, you're going to fall in love with this track. Matter of fact, I know one that has, our winner, that was Tim Brown, and quite a few of the other drivers definitely said that they would really like to come back. Burt Myers was quoted in the Daily Press as saying that he had a lot of fun, and he hoped the fans had a lot of fun watching the race. And from the officials' point of view, talking with them afterwards, they really liked the way that we were welcomed. Bill Mullins, his whole staff just really feel big time and bringing us in and treating us first class, and we really liked that. Really had a good time coming out, putting on a good show for everybody.
So now are we on the bandwagon of talking NASCAR and Bill Mullis and all that to get in another race next year?
Well, no, that's always up to the scheduling with NASCAR down in Daytona, but I spoke to Bill Mullis last night, and he was very, very, very interested in trying to bring back the Wheel and Southern Modified Tour, and hopefully having another good race like he had the other night. Between the autograph session, I was really nervous, by coming in and wondering, whether this was, liked and everything else. And Bill Mullins had a smile on his face from ear to ear, and he was just counting, saying, this is big, this is big. And it turned out to be really nice, and good action, and the fans were really into it before the race, during the race, and really after the race.
Everybody, we got a chance to sit there when everybody was leaving, and there was not one person that did not walk out of that place and say, thank you so much. It was an awesome facility. It was an awesome race. I mean, from the fans to the drivers to the crew members to the officials.
Yeah. We when you go to new tracks, you're always looking and saying, what's different from this track to another track, and a lot of the guys hadn't been to Langley Speedway, and me myself coming from there, it's my home route. I've always said Langley is a top-notch facility, one of the very best around that I've ever been to, and I bragged a lot on it. I basically was telling everybody, you wait till we go there. It's a pretty much similar track, and we'll really enjoy it. And they came out with it. We rolled in Friday. We did some up and started looking at the track, and everybody was pretty amazed at how it looked and the layout of everything, and how well Bill Mullis and his staff, Chuck Hall, and everybody presented themselves, and at how nice the place is. The place is just really a top-notch racetrack, and the fans know that, and when we rolled in there, the drivers noticed it. There was a lot of drivers that had never been here before. They were pretty amazed to know it was near Langley Air Force Base, right across from NASA and the wind tunnel. So it was really interesting to be able to come out and be able to race, put on a good show for the fans, and have that many fans out there. It was just amazing.
My parking lot people said it was full at 6:45.
It was.
My family got there about 6 o'clock. I'm not feeling too good today, guys, so I'm going to cough on you probably. But my family got there at 6 o'clock, and they just said that there was long lines. There was, parking was hard. Not as in hard, as in they were so used to parking up near the front. They were like, we parked all the way in the back.
Yeah.
Like, just because I'm an official, I don't get VIP parking, guys. So they really enjoyed it. They were just talking about how great it was. I mean, everything. The whole night was just awesome. I mean, I can't be more happier for Langley and its staff and everybody. It was an awesome night. It was really nice to see the fans come out and be able to leave and say that was good racing. When you do that, I mean, because you all know racing is part of the entertainment business. That makes you feel really good to be part of that.
And I think one thing we need to point out, just because y'all were there, don't think we put on a show for y'all. That's every week is the way it is.
There's not a time that I've never come to Langley that I haven't felt totally at home.
Yep.
I mean, the staff is just totally awesome. I mean, Bill told me 2 or 3 years ago, it's not the person that makes the business, it's the people that you employ that make the business.
Exactly.
It's 100%. It took me a little while to understand that, but he is 100% right. You put the right people in the right places, makes his job 100% easy. And, I really liked it, the way Chuck Hall carried on and everything before the race. I got the fans all excited, but TV wasn't quite ready, and he said that was just a trial run for us, guys. Got everybody else sitting down.
Yeah.
To look up into the stands and see a beach ball being hit around over there in turn one. I thought I was at a college football game or graduation. I was really impressed with that. But it was a great time. We appreciate y'all having us out, and look forward to hopefully returning next year and putting on a bigger show. And the word will get out, and I know for sure the car count will be twice as high.
Hey, Brian, also to let you know in the future, hook up with the Let's Talk Racing taxi service. We'll get you in there quicker.
Yeah, I sure do appreciate that. Matt, I thought he had me set up. I grabbed this cart. I was going to put my name on it, my personalized cart. The next thing I know, everybody else is in that cart. Matt had his own cart, and Matt never got off his cart. I'm only kidding. Matt, I appreciate.
Not off his butt either. Let me tell you.
I'm only kidding. He really. I mean, whenever I called Matt and needed something, he was right there. That went for everybody. I mean, it was just y'all made our lives a lot easier the other night by helping us carry tools around and scoring machines and everything else. But it was nice having them carts around, getting us around that place.
Well, we got to work together to make the show right.
And you're exactly right about that. I mean, it's all part of the show, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that in a very good way, because you want to put on a great show for everybody. And there was two things that really just touched my heart big time, and that is that little girl sang the national anthem. I didn't get to see her, nothing. I was changing and running back out to get to the starting lineup, but I thought she did a great job. I didn't get to meet her or anything, but I thought that was just totally awesome.
The singer, the national anthem?
Yeah.
Oh, man, she was awesome, wasn't she?
Only 8 years old. I'm going to tell you what, guys, better watch for her on American Idol in about another 7 years. And then the other one was, I hope I get this right, was Allison. Is that her name? Allie?
Allie, yeah.
Yep.
Very, it was my pleasure to be able to meet her. Earlier in the day, I know y'all guys came out and wanted the drivers to sign a poster for her, which they had no problem doing that. But the way that the drivers took to her was just totally awesome.
Well, and Tim Brown went up and gave her his trophy.
Yes, he told her earlier in the day, Tim told her, he says, if I win, I'm going to bring my trophy up to you. Tim Brown stood to his word and took his trophy up there to her, which was totally awesome. I mean, I know that he just made that little girl's day.
Oh yeah.
So, and heck, Tim Brown made his own day.
Really?
He was so happy. He didn't know what to do at the end of the night. Usually Tim has something to say. Tim was speechless. So, you know, really that was a great job of that T&C racing team. And the O2, they just really had it together. He saved the car. He pushed it when he had to push it, and he saved himself until the end. And look where he got. He got himself
a win. And every one of those drivers, I did not see, how do I put it, a grumpy driver.
No, and you know, I mean, it's, you know, everybody's going to have a good night and a bad night. But I didn't see nobody really have that bad of a night. They all got out of their cars. They were really happy. Nobody tore anything up really bad. I know Zach Brewer had, you know, quite a bit of damage to his front end and wasn't able to make ace Monday's race. But, you know, other than that, I mean, people went home really happy and with some good race cars.
But you could and you could walk up. I remember seeing Tim Brown in the grandstands after the race, signing autographs and getting pictures. He didn't act like he was rushed to get out of there. He didn't act like, you know, and I hate to say it because I know they got to do it, but the Sprint Cup guys won't talk. They'll hardly stop to get a picture. They walk when they sign autographs. Man, he was up there just like you and me, signing autographs and having a good time and taking pictures. And it was very lax, and I seen that out of all the drivers.
Well, you know, earlier in the day, it was Bert and Jason. They had their T-shirts outside, and they were selling them. And I know that Bert went out there and signed the autographs and everything. And these guys really like to do that.
Yeah.
Tim Brown, you know, he works for Michael Waltrip during the week. He's a race car driver on the weekends. He enjoys racing. He is a true racer.
Yep.
And you know, your true down hometown drivers, they love to do that. That's the old Butch Lindley, what's his, Sonny Hutchins. You know, these are the guys that I remember that took time out of their lives to make me feel good as a kid.
Yep.
And you know, when you make people feel like that, they want to come back and back. They really helped our division. And when I say our division, every one of those drivers, every one of the officials in NASCAR, we're all a family. Best division that I've ever seen. Southern Modified.
Boy, we got everything good blowing up over here. So, okay, we got it. Okay, we're good.
I was really glad to see that Tim got up there. I was really glad that he was able to win that trophy and give it to Allie and make her day, because I know she got her picture taken with almost every driver down there, it seemed like, and everybody was. It was our pleasure to be able to meet her.
She had just had chemo the day before.
Some of us, Matt, you know, me and you talked about it over dinner. Some of us think that our lives are hard, and you look at a little child like that, and you just think to yourself, you know, I may have had a bad day, but look what this poor child's going through. And she was just so happy to be out there the other night, and we were just so happy for her to be out there.
Yep.
So it was really awesome. She's a beautiful little girl.
And you know, when you see something like that, it breaks your heart, and you want to do everything you can for her. And it was great. I know the fan club went over and beyond what they had to do to help get that girl out there. Jim Hicks, the guy that is running the fan club, he was worried that morning that one of the box that he was going to put him in fell through. Well, he made some calls, and I made some calls, and we were trying to, and Jim Peach, who I know you know, who's been out there forever, stepped up and said, "You can have the booth, whatever you need."
Exactly. You know, that's the thing about a lot of these race fans. Mr. Peach has been around for years. Oh my goodness, I can't ever remember him not being there.
Yeah.
Peach's record service and everything. But let me tell you something about Jim Hicks. Jim Hicks is one of the best gentlemen that you're ever going to meet.
Yep.
He does so much for that fan club out there, and for individuals like Allie and individual things. When we did our NBA charity program out there back in 2002, 2003, he was a big part of that.
Yep.
And couldn't say enough about that gentleman, and that's a true gentleman right there. He gives his heart and soul out for charity. He's got my respect.
And loves every minute of it.
He does. He really does. You would think he's getting paid $1 million to do what he does.
Yep.
And he does it all for the charity that he's working for and for the fans, because he loves that place.
Yeah, oh yeah, he definitely does. Now I know you got a busy schedule coming up. You're not going to be back with the Southern Modifieds this year as a NASCAR official, but
Yeah, no, I got 2 more races with them. I won't be back with K&M Pro Series.
that's what it was.
But I got Richmond this weekend. In fact, I'm packing as we're talking, and and trying to get. I'll be trying to get out the door tomorrow for that, and we'll be having the nationwide race Friday, and then of course the Cup race Saturday, and maybe Sunday night I'll get to sleep in my own bed for a change. Looking at that, but it was really great to see everybody, and I hope everybody just had a great time.
Oh man, we did. What are you going to be doing at the Cup or the Nationwide and Cup races?
Nationwide, I'll be in inspections in tech, and I don't know what they're going to have me doing. Since I'm just basically filling in for the Nationwide race, but I'll be working pit road. In the Cup race, I'll be in the garage and on pit road for the main race.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to it. I've told everybody this is like my Super Bowl. I get to come back to Richmond, Virginia. I know how Denny Hamlin's going to feel now. You get to come back to your hometown and be able to, work it. And I've always dreamed of working that race. This is like my Daytona or Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to coming back.
This is the big one for you, and I'm glad to hear you coming back. I am coming up Friday.
Okay.
So we'll have to at least get together and say hi. I'm going to be up there.
I still don't know if I'm going to make it Friday.
What did he say?
Doc don't know if he's going to make it yet or Friday or not.
Come on, he can make it on up there.
Yeah, I think he can.
Well, originally the person who was supposed to be racing decided he's not going to be racing, so now he's trying to call somebody else to get me in on their hot pass or whatever list. So
I tell you what, guys, if y'all get in there, come on over and see me. Make the time. We're happy to hang out with y'all and talk. And it's always nice to be able to sit around and talk racing. Do it like Matt showed up one night in Charlotte. We went out to dinner, and I think we talked racing for 2.5 hours.
Oh, every bit of it.
We had a great time. So hey, I appreciate it, guys. I'll take care, and thank y'all again for having us down there. We look forward to hopefully coming back down there next year.
Charles has got something to say to you, Brian, but hey, Brian, we want you back.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, this is Charles. Richard Petty.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How you doing? Look, I will see you the 14th next month.
Yes, you come on down.
I will. I'll be there, buddy.
I'm working pole night. Southern Modifieds will be out there that night on the, quarter-mile track? It's the inner track that the Legends race on.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, we're doing a 150 lapper out there on pole night. So we're really looking forward to it. You make sure you stop on by and see me and get my picture taken with you again.
He will.
I hear you, man.
I'll be there probably the 12th, 13th.
Okay.
So we can go around a little bit.
All righty. Well, that sounds good, man.
Okay.
And I'm getting ready to make another Charlotte run, so we'll definitely be hooking you up.
Sure, you come on by. You know what restaurant we're going to meet at.
You got it.
Roadhouse.
Talk to you later, then.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You there, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, I got a story about Brian, and I really got it. He called me Saturday night after the race. He says, can you help me out? I said, what's wrong? He says, our NASCAR people got all their transponder stuff up in there. Do you think you can find somebody to bring it around? I said, man, I'm sitting right here loading the guy up. Let's go. And, he was just, Brian was like, he couldn't believe that we were that courteous and that we wanted to help him that much to get things, So,
that's what we do.
Robbie Parker.
What's going on?
Number 19 Grand Stock. 3 wins this year.
That's right.
4 total, right?
That's right. Career at Langley.
And are we leading the points?
Tied for the lead with Ricky Derrick. He had the tiebreaker, though.
I got you. So it sounds like we're having a pretty good year.
Yeah, other than 2 races ago, we had a rear end problem. That was a bad night. We had 1 or 2 early in the season. But other than that, yeah, it's been a good year. Mostly top 5s, other than the nights we had bad luck.
hey, Robbie and I are buds here.
Doesn't matter.
We're going with the flow, ain't we, man?
Do what you're supposed to do. I'm gonna beat him.
Robbie, Doc's asking for a bio. Tell us how you got started into racing.
Okay, when I was about 10, my dad had a friend that raced old limited sportsman at Langley Speedway. He took me and Mom out to the racetrack, watch them, and of course we've been going ever since. Back when they first started the pure stock division, a friend of my dad's and somebody his at work and all them got together and built the car. And Mama told Daddy the only way you can work on it and have fun with it is she got to drive it. Drive it one time, and she said, I want my own, and the rest is history. I've been watching her race. When I got old enough, I said, I'm going to race. I've been doing.
So your mom was actually the driver?
Right, yeah, she drove for 3 years, I think. Well, she probably killed me 80, 81, 82, around that area.
Wow.
That was back when they had to paint the cars like the cup cars.
Yeah.
So,
That was part of the deal.
Yeah.
I got Steve sitting here going, he's like, what? But
That wasn't a thought yet.
Yeah, that class, yeah. So, and that was always a pretty cool idea, wasn't it?
yeah, it was. I mean, they all look like, some of them look actually like the cup cars. So it was kind of neat to check it out. And so I watched her race for 3 years. I sat on the other side of the fence and said, one day I'm going to be running Langley Speedway and I'm going to win races. And here I am.
Now, this is your third year in the Grand Stock, am I right?
It's my third full season, yeah. I ran like a half a season. Had a little problem with a motor, and I went and got ahead and got me a good motor, and then I've been running full years ever since then.
Yeah. And finally up there winning races, and you're solid every time you come out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's 3 years of hard work. And that's what it's been. I mean, it's been hard work being out there almost every Thursday. To attest to that, it's just 3 years of hard work, and it's finally paying off.
You don't win them at the track, though, do you?
And well, yeah, win them at the track, but it helps to do it in the garage. Preparation is key. The guys you race against in any division, I mean, ain't nobody out there going to give you nothing. Winning a race at Langley is probably one of the hardest things to do in racing, in my opinion, because that's one tough track, and anybody out there can attest to it. If you've won a race at Langley, you've done something.
Exactly.
So I've noticed that just from watching.
A lot of people don't understand. They say, "Oh, this looks easy." It's not. You blow one corner, you've blown 2 laps.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah, Langley's unique. Turn 2 way different than turn 4. The people don't say it. People look at it and say, "No, they're the same thing." But you go through the corner, you do things differently in each corner, and if you don't hit them marks, you're going to get beat. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah. So now we're going in. You got what, 3 races left this year?
Yeah, I believe so.
I'm tied with Ricky Derrick for the points.
That's right.
And boy, I tell you what, you guys like all of you. It seems like that whole class just likes beating fenders off the cars, don't it?
Yeah, everybody's turned the heat up. Like I say, for 10, 15, 20 laps, everybody stays right together, and then things seem to settle down after that. But everybody's running so close. When we qualified, there's like 6, 7 cars within a tenth or so. So everybody is so close, and I mean, you got to use the fender to get by them. You got to loosen them up, and they don't mind doing it to you, so you got to do it back. But nobody's wrecking nobody. I don't think I've seen anybody get really taken out deliberately this year. So I mean, it's been good, hard Grand Stock racing, and that's what's unique about that division.
Yeah. And you can lean on people a little bit in it, and it doesn't seem to affect the cars too much. They're not as sensitive as some of the other classes and divisions out there, but it really is a good class, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good class. Competition level is second to none. I mean, you got 4 or 5 former late model drivers in that class. Guys like Ricky, Paul, Jamie Good, Rodney Boyd, they've run late models. Them guys have got a lot of laps at Langley, and
yep.
you beat them. You beat some good guys. that's not easy to go out there and beat them guys, and it's hard enough just to run with them week in and week out. But when you beat them, you know it feels good because you know you beat some of Langley's best.
Yep.
That's why I get kind of crazy in victory lane, because I feel good beating them. And you know I've been chasing them for 3 years, and hey, I've taken my licks, I've taken my wounds, and now we're finally having a good season, you know, and I'm gonna celebrate while I can.
That's it. Jump up and down in that victory lane. You need to.
That's right.
So, what's in plan? What's planned for Robbie for the upcoming years?
I would like to try late model one time. I'm not gonna lie. Who wouldn't? I mean, everybody wants to try it.
Yep.
I really like the modified class. I mean, I like the way, you know, modifieds look fun. If I were to move up, that would probably be the only class I could afford to move up to.
Right.
You know, that late model, if you ain't got the money and the time to rent the track once a week and the money to buy the tires, the practice one and all that, you're not going to run with them guys. You got to do what they're doing. That's kind of the deal with the Grand Stock. Everybody was used to soak tires, and you had to do what they did. They were better at it than I was. I'll admit that. But now that we don't soak them, it's kind of even things up. You know, like I say, I like to move up, but if not, hey, I'm having fun what I'm doing. And maybe I'd like to try another class. I'd like to try one of your Pro 6 cars. They look fun.
They are a blast, man, and we're going damn near 2 seconds faster than y'all are.
Yeah, I know. And you got 2 less cylinders, finer tires.
Yeah.
But I mean, I actually watched the tape of the last race y'all had, which I'm sure you know real well, and that was actually a good race. It was, y'all had racing all the way through the pack, and controversy on the last lap, you know that, but you know, hey, y'all put on a show, and you know, y'all have been struggling with cars. We've struggled a little bit with car count. You know, you got to go out there and show for them fans. If you only got 4 cars, you got to do what you can to put on the show. That's what it's all about.
And that's what it's all about. And I don't think people realize it's not necessarily that there's only 13 cars out there. It's pretty much the economy, because if you talk to the people, and Robbie, I know you've seen it in your class too, if you talk to these people, they really can't afford, or I shouldn't say they can't afford, they're afraid to spend that money to come race.
Right. You know, the economy has hurt it. It's made it tough on me. And
yeah.
Truthfully, if not for the tire rule, I probably wouldn't be running every race this year.
Exactly.
You know, the last 2 years, I was trying to hang with Jamie and Ricky, buying the same tires they would, and you know, you bought a lot of tires, you know, and now this year you can only buy 1, so instead of buying 2 a race, you're buying 1. I haven't bought 4 tires since way back when the season first started, you know, so that has really helped a lot. You know, and I got a few sponsors that kind of helped out, and so a couple of them haven't really given me money, but they've cut my costs, you know, anything to help out.
Right.
Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and you've got a very pretty car, and you've got some sponsors on it, which, you know, if you look, there's not a lot of cars out there that got sponsors on them this year.
That's right. Well, my first car was a dirt car, and it was ugly. Yeah, I'll admit it. After I had that, I said I'll never have an ugly car again.
19.
So
It's a dirt car, though. It's supposed to be ugly, you know. Gotta get it dirty.
that paint job, and then, you know, I had Jordan Wood, you know, letter it. I told him, he said, what do you want? I said, I want this thing to stand out like no other car, and, you know, he did an amazing job on it.
Great, yeah, it is. You've really got a good-looking car. You really do. I like the blue, and I mean all the letters and all that. They all stand out, and I mean you keep it looking great every week.
Yeah, well, I beat the dents out, and I clean what tire marks I can off of it. It's got some paint rubbed off of it, and it's got, you know, decals rubbed up. But you know, hey, that's racing at Langley Speedway. I'm having a blast doing it. I don't have a beef with nobody out there. I'm not mad at no driver. I don't think I've been done wrong. I don't think I've done nobody wrong. It's just good, clean, hard racing, and it's a lot of fun. Might get out the car a little angry for a minute or two, but after that, it's all good.
Hey, you wouldn't be a racer if you didn't get out and you were pissed.
Oh, that's right. I mean, you know, you got to get out and show some emotion. Hey,
It's an emotional job. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
That's right, you know, and
If you ain't there to win, you might as well not be there.
you know that's right, and exactly. And Matt, you've shown a lot of professionalism. I've seen a couple situations with you. And, you know, I've learned some things from you actually.
That's scary.
I've learned to control my emotions. I know, and it's very, very hard to deal. I don't think people realize how upset you get.
Well, I know how upset I would be. You know, you got that helmet on. All it takes is one wrong hit, and your whole mind temperament changes. But you got to control your emotion because there is people in the stands. You got to watch what you do. You know, don't act like a fool. We're grown men or women. We're grown people. We're not out here for running this racing for thousands of dollars. Just you got to show some emotion. Fans like a little controversy, but you know, don't go out there and make a fool out of yourself.
Exactly. Walk away, go cool down, and once you do that, you're still going to be upset, but you're going to watch what you say.
That's right. You know.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this story, and Robbie, you're going to get a kick out of this. If you, I know you saw the last lap, and what upset me the most was I spent 15 laps passing the guy clean.
Right.
Okay. Well, Amy, my spotter, she's on the radio with me. She's telling me calm down, don't do nothing stupid, and she's going on, and she's trying to get me to calm down. Well, I ain't said a word. We're getting ready. They're getting ready to give us the one to go. I still ain't said a word yet. They put us to the rear. She finally says, "Can you hear me?" Because she thought I might have lost the radio because I hadn't said a word. I went on a 5 minutes. Well, I went on a 1 lap spiel, and I won't repeat the words that I said, and never let go of the button. But I let my emotions go before I got back out when I knew I was going to have to get out of that car.
And that's what you got to do.
Yep.
You know, if you want to say something, and like I said, if you have an issue with another driver, it should be between you and him.
Yep.
Between your crew, not between his crew or your car owner or whoever.
Yep.
Two drivers have an incident on the racetrack. Let them two get out and talk about it. And then if they can't settle it, then they'll settle it eventually, or they'll just go on and not talk to each other for a while.
Settle it on the track is what I've always been told.
That's right.
Yeah, don't take it in the pits. Don't take it outside. You know, settle it on the track.
But do it in a good way. Don't make somebody else suffer for something that you're paying back, or you know, don't turn somebody. Like I say, don't hook them in the right rear and turn the driver's side into the wall. You know, that's a cheap shot.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't cost them money.
No. You know, if you want to get into him, rough him up, race him a little different. You go to pass him next time. You know, hey.
Yeah.
You get old 8 tires, it's better than 4. You can always do that, going in and get underneath and slide him up a little bit.
So yeah, and I agree with you, and that's what you need to do. You know, you just race them a little bit different.
That's right, yeah. I mean, race people like they race you. If they race you clean, you race them clean. Race them clean, and hopefully they race you back clean.
All right, Robbie, I got Doc sitting here going, you need to get off. But listen, let's get you down here in the studio one night.
Hey, no problem.
And give your sponsors a plug. They're very important, and your crew. Let's give them a plug.
Well, the company I work for, QSNL Grading and Hydro Seeding. You know, I got Brehm Associates, Bradshaw Automotive, Advantage Auto Value of Indian River Road, Affordable Transmissions, Affordable Graphics, of course, Charlie High for an awesome motor, which we're getting ready to put back together because Shane wanted to look at it. You know, but I mean, that's a one-off. That's one of the best motors I've ever had in my life. It's well worth every time I spend for it. You know, my 2 crew guys, you know, Ricky and Greer, they help me out tremendously, you know, and they've been helping me money-wise too. And that really, the only way I know how to pay them back is to go out there and give it everything I got, try to win the race. That's what they deserve.
That's it.
Cool.
You know, my wife and my daughter, they put up with it. You know, you put up with racing, that's a lot. My daughter loves it, but the wife, it can get annoying to her sometimes. Usually if we do anything, it's at a racetrack, whether it's Langley or a drag strip or anywhere. You know, if we do anything together, usually it's at a racetrack. You know, and I really appreciate everything she does. It helps out. And of course, I got a new sponsor, No Option Lawn Service. Look them up on Facebook. They're a new company. They do grass cutting around any city in this area. So, and of course, thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it. Anytime you want me to come down, ain't no problem.
Man, you're always. Yeah, we'll get you down here. We'll get you down here after Richmond. How's that?
That's fine with me.
All right, Robbie. Thanks for coming on with us tonight.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
All right, we'll see you later.
All right, man.
Alan?
Come on, it's Meudt.
It's Alan. Meudt?
Meudt, yep.
Okay,
Meudt.
Alan, I'm going to turn you over for Doc for a minute.
All right.
Why, you got to do the...
Yeah.
Hi.
Doc, go for it.
Oh my God! Yeah, poor boy, you've been drinking too much Mountain Dew. Be a middleman. We have Alan Meudt on the phone with us. He works with Wiley X sunglasses. I have a pair. They are very good. Love them to death. Wear them all the time, unless my wife steals them. Then I have to go with the other brand. We won't say who.
All right, there's plenty of good ones out there, but
Oh yeah.
I'm a little partial to the Wiley X's,
Yeah.
as are a lot of the Cup drivers this year.
Yeah. Yeah. You got Steve Durbin also in here with us.
Yep. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Doing great.
Yep. So, all right, who have you got sponsored now with the Wiley X glasses now? So people, or if you want to do a quick spiel about the glasses and everything first.
Well, the Wiley X Wiley's been in business for about 23 years, and we started out doing the ballistic eyewear for the military. Everything that we make is all based on that same technology. It's a Z87 safety glass. It's an optically pure lens, which is obviously really important to the drivers. And it's probably one of the better lenses and frame combinations that you'll find out there on the market. But price-wise, it's reasonable. Not the $200-300 that depending on some of those other brands. And we do have quite a few of the Cup drivers. I think 5 of the top 12 in the chase right now are all wearing Wiley X's. Harvick and Edwards, Atkinson, Hamlin, Biffle, and then you got Mark Martin, Willigano. They're all wearing our glasses. Just love them to death.
Cool.
I will add that I am military and I have 2 pairs myself, actually, and I love them.
Well, I appreciate your service.
Thank you. My pleasure.
We take pride in that. We hear week to week guys come back, from serving overseas, just to thank us. Of course, we thank them for their service, helping to protect their eyes. I mean, over and over, we hear stories that kind of make your skin crawl on some of the things that happen over there, and the glasses serve a purpose, and they protect their eyes and they keep pretty horrific things from happening because our guys can continue on and see and keep moving forward.
This is a good question here. Why is it, and I know you target the military, and I think that's a great thing, but you've stepped off into NASCAR and you've got these drivers, and why are you doing that? I mean, kind of give us a business point of view of why you're doing sponsoring NASCAR.
When you're looking at the trend or the business and how it's growing, we started out law enforcement, and from there we went into optometry and prescription trade, and then we started dabbling a little bit with some of the professionals in fishing, saltwater, freshwater, and then just it kind of worked its way, and more people started wearing our glasses in the mainstream. And even though Wiley X in the past, the first 15 years, they didn't have real sexy-looking glasses, but they were more functional than anything else. And they just said, hey, well, let's start talking to some of these guys. Military has a lot of influence, within NASCAR, so it kind of fit real well with people that already knew the brand. And we just said, hey, let's come out with something a little more attractive, something that still has the same function that everybody's used to, but we can get them into something that's a little more fashionable, a little more, into the trends. And even just over the past 3 years, we've come just leaps and bounds over what we've had in the past as far as the glasses at every different size head. And we probably have about 80 different styles that we carry out of the track. And it's It's just the growth of the company, and we're not spreading ourselves too thin either. It's not like we're going after everybody in every market. We are focused on at this point NASCAR and also quite a bit into the fishing trade.
But NASCAR seemed to be a pretty good fit, didn't it?
Well, NASCAR's a great fit, and then the other thing you look at from a business standpoint, the NASCAR fans are absolutely phenomenal. They are the most dedicated of all fans in any sport. So, if we can convince drivers to wear our glasses and convince them just from them putting them on to talk about them and then be seen wearing them, that's a natural fit. And then we want to give something back. So we don't want the fans to see the glasses and then kind of go home scratching their heads saying, well, I saw them wearing these glasses. They had a little WX on it, not quite sure what it was. Well, we want to make it easy. So we put together this little tour over the past 2.5 years to where we, come out to every track and we offer some special deals at the track. And even if you want to just come by and take a look, we're there as much for the marketing and to educate folks as selling a pair of glasses.
I had a great chance to meet you in Richmond and at the Denny Hamlin Foundation race, and I'm hoping you're going to be at Richmond this year, right?
Yep, we're heading out tomorrow morning bright and early. We absolutely will be there.
Well, I'm going to come up Friday. I'm going to make sure I come by and see you again. I guess I'm going to have to break down and get a set of these.
We'll take care of you. No, you'll like them. I know you will. I mean, we chatted last time, but sometimes it takes a few times for people to come by, and I tell you, bar none, everybody that's bought a pair that we've seen from year to year, they're bringing their friends, their family, their spouses back, and they're going, wow, I wish I had bought them when I saw them last year. I'm glad you're here. I've been waiting a whole year to come back and buy them. We remind them, it's like, heck, you can go always on WileyX.com, and we do have quite a few retailers out there that sell the glasses as well, but of course we always do, try to give something back, so we do have some pretty sweet deals at the track. So,
speaking of which, where can you go get WileyX? Let's bring that up.
Right now, Bass Pro, Cabela's, Gander Mountain, they all are carrying a limited selection of glasses. If you go onto the website, WileyX, WILEYX.com, you can do a search on your zip code, and it'll give you the closest retailer to you where you can find them. So, that's a great way to go see them. And, of course, at the track, it's probably one of the few places that you'll actually see every single style that we do carry.
Where are you going to be at in Richmond? I know you're going to be out there on Souvenir Row, but where about at? Let's tell people where you're going to be.
Right by the big flag pole. Usually we're set up right behind Junior's trailer. So as you're walking in towards the track, just head right towards that big flag pole with the American flag in the middle, and we're going to be set up right next to it.
Cool. And they have a great display.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, go visit. Yeah, they were really cool. They were set up at the Denny Hamlin race, and
we actually had again, staying in with the NASCAR theme, we had a gentleman that built the pit boxes for the Nationwide Series for us, custom pit boxes just to hold our glasses. So
yeah, and they are cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we had a few people wanting to buy our pit boxes as well. So.
Well, but even though it fits, they are very handy. All you got to do is roll them on out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're pretty slick and they're lit up, and we've got our flat screen TV, and we have all types of testimonials from not only our drivers but quite a few servicemen who have used our glasses. So it's pretty slick. I mean, you can really learn a lot by coming down and watching the stuff and talking to us. And we also do prescription. We don't do it there at the track, but we can at least fit you with the right frame and get you hooked up with your local eye doctor and get you some prescription WileyXs as well.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know that.
Have to keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, Alan, we're not going to keep you much long because I know you got to leave early in the morning to get up here.
Yep.
And great having you on here. Hopefully we can get you back on here soon. You got any new products coming out?
We've got some new ones. Most of what we've got new are out already. We've got some new signature Skeet Reese fishing glasses, which are pretty sweet with a real nice amber polarized lens. We have the Black Ops line, which is a full line of glasses that are flat black with the black logo that are very, very popular this year. Quite a few women's lines that are specifically designed for the women. And we've got a few styles that we're holding on. We're going to come out in November. We just started a new website on Facebook, so go on Facebook and do a search on Wiley X. Because starting last week, every Tuesday, we're giving away a free pair of Wiley X glasses, but you need to register each week. So if you join that, that'll give you an opportunity to win some free glasses as well.
Now, track champions do get a special deal, right?
Absolutely. We will hook you up big time.
Well, then I'm definitely coming to see you Friday.
That sounds good.
Alan, great talking to you. We're going to get on out of here and go get something to eat, and we'll be seeing you Friday.
Okay, we'll see you. Take care, guys.
All right,
Have a
thanks.
good night, Al.
All right, bye.
Alan is a great. He really is. He's a really nice guy.
Of your glasses?
I don't. He's just the marketing director, I believe, or something like that. I'm not quite sure his position, but great guy to talk to. We spent probably an hour with him up there at the Denny Hamlin Foundation race. So great, really nice guy, and they got a really neat setup. It's old. It's Winston Cup or nationwide pit boxes, and I think they had 2 or 3 there. Oh, it was a neat little setup.
Scattered, you just turn the corner and like, whoa.
Yeah, cute little honey standing there.
Gotta have that.
Sorry.
Right here, Robbie Gordon glasses.
Robbie Gordon.
Yeah.
Are you going to be up at Richmond this weekend?
Well, Roger's been giving me a ticket.
Oh, okay.
Oh, goodness.
There's a lot.
Anyway,
I'll still go anyway.
you could probably walk right in. They never even.
I can't down in the garage now.
I bet you could. So,
Oh, goodness.
anyway, Richmond this weekend. Nationwide Friday night. Cup Saturday night. Sprint Cup next weekend. Twin Modifieds. I believe the Legends are back. I believe the Grand Stocks and the Super
Yes.
Streets are back.
We gotta hurry up and start getting the things rolling about getting James up there for cooking for us and everything for that shindig.
Yeah, we're gonna have a little shindig on the 25th, and we're gonna start. We'll get Monday. Monday we'll get together and get that all done. We still got 2 weeks, so Monday we'll get together on that and get that all done. So that ought to be pretty cool.
Now, something we started on earlier,
Yes.
and we didn't get the chance to touch on, and we got time, we can smack it around. That good old fun rule about getting involved or hitting somebody, and whoever that is spins out or whatever, and they're all supposed to go to the back.
Oh shit! Here we go. Go ahead. Let's talk about this.
Legends race. 4
Legends race.
vehicles all banging off each other. They all came together. One guy spun out. He went to the rear. Everybody else got to stay up front. And Steve will back me. We were sitting there looking directly at it.
When-
There was one in particular.
When was it? Wait. What point of the race was it?
Towards the end of it.
Towards the end when it
I
really
think it was
got
the final
dicey.
restart, right before the final restart, I believe. 'Cause I know the number, I just don't want to mention details. But
I mean, we're here.
You're gonna have
we're
to
here
remind me.
report. You had the 20 and the 30 and.
He went to the rear.
No, he stayed up front when he should have went to the rear.
Yeah,
He was already behind
who
the whole
spun?
field. He was
20.
one of them.
Well, he didn't
Or he
spun.
stopped.
He hit the 20, knocked the 20 into the other 2 cars that were in front of him, and everybody got squirrely and everything else. And then
But he stayed back for a while, and then he ended up right before the restart. They put him up front, and there were a few people, family of the guy that they put him in front, and they weren't too fond of that. But it ended up working out. But still, I mean,
He ended up getting ahead of. I know you're talking about the
leader.
0.
he ended up being first.
Yeah,
So
restart.
in other words, it went back to the last completed green flag lap.
Yes, it just kind of voided it out, that rule.
And who spun?
well, the 20,
Yeah.
I think was a spun. He was part
The
of it,
t-
and
the-
and the 0 was part of it, and who else was part of it?
The 08.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so, because you had the 4. It was the
trying to
4
remember that.
front-running cars. They got together. They were all trying to bounce everybody around, and they did. One car wound up spinning out, and it bounced off of all 4 of the cars were involved.
Cameron went to the rear once, I think. No, he didn't.
And you had just the one car that went to the rear, and all the other 3 got to stay up front.
Yeah.
I don't remember it. I wish I could remember it.
It was a very good race.
There were so many accidents in that damn
I
race.
wonder if Taylor's got it on his thing on YouTube.
We'll have to look at it.
He might, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. We'll have to look at it. It's all, you know, you guys look at these rules like, okay, well, this is the way the rule is. It's all about interpretation. What happened? The thing that kills me, and even me being a race director for the Hampton Roads Kart Club, thing that kills me is everybody wants you to be consistent. Well, I've never seen one single wreck that was the same.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I don't people realize. It depends on the circumstances, and it depends on what happened right at that time. You know.
Well, their standing rule is if you're involved in the wreck in any shape or form.
It's not a. See, here's the problem though. It's not a standing rule. Okay, where is it in the rule book that says it? Where is it in the rule book
that
says
I'm saying, is
okay,
that
it depends on the situation and it depends on the circumstances.
But that's what I'm saying. They're putting out a rule that's not in the rule. They're verbally saying this, but the thing is, it's. I mean, if the guy's spinning out, all right, hey, he either hit somebody or somebody hit him, and in every instance, they're supposed to take, and either way that runs, those cars go to the rear, and that's what they've been trying to enforce.
Well, if you lose momentum, you're supposed to go to the rear under a caution.
All four of them had to lose momentum because they all got knocked squirrely. Nobody.
But they kept going. They kept the forward momentum going in one spun.
See, now you just added something new.
Is that what you're not telling me? They all kept their forward momentum and they kept going.
But they had to slow down. What you just said, did they have to slow down?
But they had to keep forward momentum.
Well, sure, they're all going to keep forward momentum,
okay.
Even when they're sliding.
Then they didn't have to stop. They kept forward momentum.
Hey,
the one car spun out.
All right, excuse me. When
and
you're
they all
spinning
went
out,
to the rear.
Aren't you keeping forward momentum?
I kept my forward momentum.
Even when you spin out, you keep forward momentum?
No.
See,
No. Now you're trying to read into something
but
that you don't need to.
Just said,
if you spin out, though, but you're not going forward.
Sure you are.
No, you're not.
You're going forward along the track line.
No,
are you not?
No.
Sure you are.
No, you're
not. You may
not.
not be facing forward.
You're not facing forward, so you're not going
so
forward.
So you changed the rule again.
No, I'm not. It's all on the interpretation and how
I understand that. But the thing,
I know why you're trying to read into the rule, and the bad part about it is what happened in the Legends is different than what happens in another division or another class.
I think it's just the fact that it just keeps coming up.
Yeah.
Somebody keeps bringing it up. That's why.
Of course. I mean, hey, the thing is if you put out a rule and you
I'm going to get Butch down here one night, and him and I are going to sit down and have a race directors meeting, and we're just going to have at it. We're going to just kick you all off to the side. We're going to have no guests. We'll get Jimmy Wilson on, and we'll find another race director, and we're all four going to just sit down here, and we're going to discuss rules. End of conversation. We're going to blow that internet up if we do that. You get 4 race directors in one room. The phones are going to be blowing up. The computer's going to be blowing up. But I'll get Butch down here. We'll sit down. We'll get Butch and we'll hit him up. We'll talk. So,
yeah.
But it's all about interpretation.
Now you and I and yeah, you were part of the conversation. We talked about several things that need to be attacked, and they would probably help it out.
Well,
and I'm not getting into specifics on all that stuff. Simply just leave it vague.
The problem with racing, and this is my opinion, you have too many rules. When you start having too many rules, you have too many that you have to enforce. When you have too many that you have to enforce, you will miss a lot of the rules.
Yep. Because
you're thinking, did that rule apply to this? Did that, Back in the 60s and 70s, man, there was no such thing as a black
Go
flag.
at it.
It was a have-at-it boys attitude.
Yep.
And you can't do that these days because these cars are too expensive.
Yeah.
A lot of these cars are not coming out of the junkyards anymore. They're professionally built, pure race cars. End of conversation. So you got to have a little bit of control.
Oh yeah, I understand all that. The thing is that I hate seeing is when people that are seeing new rules that pop out to abuse the ability of that rule, and it can't help and can't hurt.
But it might not necessarily be a new rule. I think that's where you all are missing it. That rule could have been 25 years old. But where is it written down?
Or it's not in the rule book.
Well,
So
then
then it can't be 25 years old.
if it's not in the rule book, then race directors always got
Pet peeves.
in their own set of rules and their own way of looking at things. I look at things different than Butch does. And I know Butch looks at things different than I do.
Sure.
But in the long run, believe it or not, him and I still have the same goal.
You want to have a good race.
We want to have a good race. And somewhere we end up kind of meeting in the middle. And I've had some great talks with Butch. He's a very intelligent man. He really is.
Oh, I have no problem with Butch.
So, if that's the way he called it, I'm going to stand on it.
I've dealt with Butch from all different points,
Yeah.
just like you have.
So, if that's what he saw and that's the way he called it, right or wrong, I'll stand by it because that's what he called. So.
Oh, I mean.
And off the air, I'll give you a good instance. So.
Well, I mean, I remember in a race one time, I got black flag for taking out a race leader. Not exactly said that way, but and parked. You know what? Never touched him. The driver that did it owned up to it later, but the officials never saw me touch him. And it's just what you see.
See,
and I'll give you the full specs on that later too.
we'll talk about it. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
For being a reporting thing, we're doing a lot of not telling anybody.
Let's get out of here.
I'd like to thank everybody for watching Let's Talk Racing tonight.
We'll see y'all next
Or let's
week.
be mute tonight. We'll see y'all later. See ya!
Bye.
Sickle!